Hello and welcome to today's video. Today I'm in the city of Auckland, just sitting on the shores of the Waitemata Harbour behind me. In front of me is the city. There's a motorway here, lots of traffic going by. Just an interesting analogy, of course, for life. We can be in the hustle and bustle of the city, or we can be in nature, and it's really kind of a short distance between the two, no more than sort of 20 metres or 30 metres and I'll be on the motorway, or behind me I can be on the shores of the beach where I can enjoy nature. So like anything in life, we can make our choices as to where we end up, and this is kind of a physical choice, of course, whether I move into the city or move into nature. And then I talk a lot about being on a path where you move other parts of your being, so your soul and your mind. Today I'm going to talk about transcendence. So the reason I'm going to talk about transcendence is because last evening I visited or went to a G.U.R.U meditation here in Auckland, and it was another beautiful experience. Can only recommend it for those people who haven't tried it. Very peaceful. It's the ability to transcend. As I said yesterday in my video, these meditations relate to mantras. The mantras are made up of, or the word mantra made up of two words: man for mind, tra for transcendence or getting out of. So getting out of your mind. It's when you get out of your mind that I feel one can attain higher realms, or whichever way you want to put it, sort of spiritual ascension, spiritual peace, calmness. And last night at the meditation I went to, I certainly achieved that, which is why I was inspired to talk about transcendence today. Just before I start, just going to quickly quote something from my little blue book. So that's where I hold all my quotes, and they're all on my website on a particular page where I've written out all the quotes that have inspired me or helped me through life. And this one, it comes from a book called The Little Prince by a French author. His name is Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. The book The Little Prince basically relates to suggesting that one should not lose one's childlike imagination to understand the true essence of life, creativity, what lies below the surface. The Little Prince appears in this story to exemplify the importance of that childlike outlook on life. It's perhaps also suggesting that as we grow into adulthood, we lose our childlike maybe innocence or childlike approach, and we get tainted by what I say are the distractions of life. So the Little Prince also in this story visits various planets, which is probably an analogy for visiting various places or meeting people in life. And he meets people such as a king, and the king sort of exemplifying the power. Everything is secondary to the need for power for the king. Also meets a conceited man, and the conceited man is just looking for to be lauded and applauded, wants people to look up to him. Just a particular way to think about life. Meets a businessman, and businessman's only interested in business, money, what that can do for him in his life. And as I've talked about, and as I've actually experienced in my life, all of those things are kind of superficial, really. I mean, at the end of the day, not going to be able to take those things with you. And in those, I don't feel lies the path to freedom and peace. Just too many attachments in life. So as I always say, there is an alternative if one is looking for perhaps something even deeper meaning than those things can bring, and that's what I've found. So I was in a fairly normal life, degrees of power, maybe even degrees of conceitedness at times, and certainly that sort of business-like approach to life. Money will buy me happiness. I can guarantee you money basically only brought me temporary happiness, because the things that have brought me were kind of finite, or passing, or fleeting. What I now have is permanent. So the quote from the book itself, The Little Prince, is, "Anything essential is invisible to the eyes." So that really just says again what's below the surface. I talk about that a lot in terms of working out what lies below the surface. I apply that in my life all the time, and I come up with a lot of interesting answers, a lot of magic, found a lot of magic below the surface. So yeah, I'm very lucky that I've had that opportunity to get on a path that has taken me to where I am in life. Now, I'll talk a little bit about the G.U.R.U meditation last night and what I experienced. Two very profound things came to me in this meditation. Now, bearing in mind that in June last year, when I did my first ever G.U.R.U meditation, that was the first time I ever transcended. And transcendence is going to these higher realms. I've definitely experienced the higher realms kind of ongoingly now, but I just want to relate it to what happened last night. And it was all very beautiful meditations, and the mantras that we were called and responding to. It's beautiful music. And so sort of probably about halfway through, everything was very peaceful, and there was about maybe 30 odd people there, and everybody sort of joyous and, you know, deep into their own meditations with this music playing and the mantras being called and responded to. Insight came to me. I spoke a few days ago about the concept of the third dimension, the fourth dimension, and the fifth dimension. And the third dimension being the physical material earth that we exist on, and I still exist on, of course. The fourth dimension effectively being the bridge where one gets some insights, perhaps thinking that there's more to life than just living on that material physical plane, the development of synchronicities and intuition. And in my life that definitely happened over a long period of time in terms of fleeting moments of spiritual insight. It's also where healing may occur, so if one's in a sort of state of darkness maybe, or a place they don't want to be in the third dimension, one has to go through the healing. So the fourth dimension is sort of conceptualized as a bridge, and the fifth dimension is where one will see or not just see, but experience the higher energy, the higher vibrational energy, the wonderment of the universe. And this is exactly what's happened in my life. Now, I won't go into sort of the exact details of all of that, because I've covered that in prior videos, and I definitely cover that in my writings, which is free on my website, viviendolamahia.nz.com. But last evening I was thinking, it just came to me, it was like a visual and an insight about that third, fourth and fifth dimension, and it became very clear to me why the path that I had been on had taken so long to bridge the gap, literally. So I had been on the third dimension for quite a period of time, and then in my, probably sort of dating back to my mid-20s, I started to probably dip my toe into the fourth dimension in terms of alternative theory and readings and insights and healing, of course. And in that fourth dimension, what I was really doing as well was doing a lot of healing. And that healing took a long time, a lot of hard work. And what I realized now from last night's Transendence was that I was building the bridge, and the bridge took a long time to build. It wasn't an easy bridge to build, but I needed to build a very secure bridge, which I'll speak about shortly as to why. And basically because it was carrying a heavy load. All of the stuff that I was bringing with me or carrying with me was effectively that lower vibrational energy, the dark matter that I talk about, the darkness that needed to be healed, and I had to carry that with me as I was building the bridge. So it had to be a strong bridge, and it took a lot, as I say, a long time to build with a lot of effort. But as time went on, the effort to build the bridge became less because I was getting greater insights, greater guidance from the universe as to how to build that bridge. So once the bridge was built, it was my time to actually cross over into the fifth dimension. And in the fifth dimension is where the higher vibrational energy sits. And everything is lighter. So I speak about seeing the light. In the light, everything is clarity. In the light, just by pure definition, everything is lighter. My being is lighter. So when I talk about the chakras and about the heavier energy in the lower chakras and building it up or bringing it up above the heart, increasing the vibration into the higher chakras, above the heart, everything becomes lighter. So in that fifth dimension, if everything is lighter, it's easier to absorb. You can absorb a lot more. It's just all comes flowing. And as I talk about a lot, there is the need, because I'm in the third dimension on a day-to-day basis, 24 hours a day literally, the need to bring that all back into the third dimension. But because I've built a very strong bridge, it doesn't matter how much information I absorb up there, I can carry it back across that bridge, and I can carry a lot more, a lot easier, because it's just that lighter vibrational energy. So less effort up there, bring it all back into the third dimension, and when I've brought it back into the third dimension, I can apply it in my life. And as I say, I live a life of light. And of course I live a life of light because I've brought so much back from this fifth dimension. So that came to me last night. Very profound, maybe just sort of like very metaphorical and an understanding of what I was doing for a long time on my path. And secondly, getting towards the end of the kirtan meditation last night, where things sort of reach a bit more of a crescendo, so the music tends to become a bit more upbeat in tempo. I was sort of probably 2/3 of the way through, or 3/4 of the way through. I wear glasses, but I had them on the top of my head, and I was very deep into my meditation, so I was seeing in my third eye the normal things I see, which is the swirling ball of energy. Generally it's the indigo colour there, with light coming through, and at times things forming into that sort of fractal kind of images forming into that ball of energy. So it was that's my, or everybody's ability to reach into the universe, to understand the mysteries of the universe. And at that time I decided to just put my glasses on, because they'd finished one mantra, and I opened my eyes to just check around the room, and I put my glasses on for the sort of getting towards the end for the rest of the mantras. And when I went deeply back into the meditation, something really interesting happened for me. While my eyes were closed, I could see the imagery framed by my glasses, and it was as if I was both looking outwards towards the universe, and that I was in the universe looking inwards towards myself. So I had the same imagery, but the imagery was, I was looking at the frames of my glasses from both the inside out to the universe and from the outside in. So it was simultaneous. So at that moment in time, I was experiencing eternity. I was experiencing the oneness of the universe, that I am here, there and everywhere at any one time. So I'd never really thought of it in that concept or in that whole visual. You know, in terms of the meditations, I'd always thought it was sort of just maybe more inside that I was looking at myself. But of course I'm not. I'm everywhere in that meditation. So the universe showed me something very profound in that sense last night. So again, just reconfirmation of being at one with the universe. It's just so insightful. And once you're in that position and you experience that, you understand that, you understand what power you're carrying with inside you. Universal power. I carry the universal power, which is the light and the energy. So I can only encourage people that if they're interested, I mean, there'll be people listening to this perhaps who've already experienced all of these things, and there's certainly people in the spiritual realm that meditations, and in particular G.U.R.U meditation, it's been around for, you know, literally thousands of years, going back to the Vedic texts of Indian spirituality. And the great spiritual teachers, I mean, they utilize meditation just so in-depthly and ongoingly, and to a much greater degree than I ever do. But I am getting insights into where they get to. So that encourages me to carry on the journey, which of course I'm doing. It's a never-ending journey, seeker of the knowledge. And maybe one day I will live 24/7 in the levels they get to, or somewhere near it. It's not a race, but it'll be wonderful if I attain even greater ascension than I already have. Right, I'll finish the video for today. It's just a bit of an insight into my transcendence on my journey and what I'm still learning. I hope it brings some light to people. I know there's light above me today, which is why I sat here. And maybe just gives people a little bit of inspiration if they need it. And as always, I'll say thank you for listening. I'll continue on my journey and make some more videos. And as always, I ask you to enjoy the journey. We will meet when we should. And namaste.